Welcome back, friends, as we continue through our group stage here for the championship in Overwatch. And it is Jeff and Clutchkey returning for our second match of the day. Headed into Group B for this one, where we've got Cabarrus Early College of Technology taking on North Henderson Team A.
Yep, both of these teams 1-0 so far. So, I mean, we'll get to see earlier on. We saw the 1-0 team from our last match of Sun Valley High Team C get the kind of right around the correct composition, I guess, or you could say right around the, I shouldn't say correct, but right around the meta comp that I've been seeing lately. So with these two teams 1-0, maybe we'll get to see it, or maybe they're going to bring out something different. Who knows? We haven't seen them yet. But in Group B, if you're in a group when you're starting off in a 14 group 1-0, chances of to move on are really good because top three of each group do move on into the next stage. So the fact that you're starting off 1-0 means 2-0, you're basically guaranteed in. You don't need to play a decider match or whatever, but knowing that you're 1-0 means you've got your foot in the door already. Just don't lose the next two and you're fine. So, I mean, this is going to be a great game to see overall. And from what I can see here, lots of seniors, I mean, lots of basically all around the board here from grades. So 9th grade for the tank and the DPS of Cab Tech. You're looking at North Henderson. You've got two seniors as well from Maracha and Thule. So I'm expecting a lot of good kind of compositions all across the board with kind of experience across the board as well. Knowing that, I mean, there's an 11th grader captain. So plenty of experience, like I'm saying, and hopefully 1-0 start. We'll get a good game out of this. I'm thinking we might even see a third map on New Queen Street when we get there.
Fingers crossed, Clutch. I would love to see a tight series between these two. The more Overwatch, the better here at VESL. Definitely, 100%. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about 2-0 pretty much guarantees you a spot in to regionals, well, at least into our single elimination bracket that will start on Wednesday. But that first round bye is so important. So, I mean, if you can manage to clutch out and go all the way through undefeated, then you don't even have to play in that first round. I mean, even better for these squads. So still a lot to play for here as we enter our second match of our group stage.
Yeah, second match of the group stage, and all of these maps are predetermined. So first map that we are going to see is going to be Lijiang Tower. So Lijiang Tower, pretty much old faithful, if you will, if you want to talk about all the maps in general of Control that is basically well-known played. I would say right now, I mean, Samoa's the newest one. Probably not going to see it because it's locked in competitive, really not up there right now. But you have, I mean, Lijiang Tower. Maybe Ilios could be up there, but I would say Lijiang Tower, if anything. Just the spectrum of it. It's like the King's Row of Control, basically. King's Row is what you would call Scrim's Row. This is what I guess you would call Scrim's Tower, if anything, when we get there, because this is what the map that all of the players like, no matter what. I don't think I've seen a single player hate this map. And if they do, then their other nice map is Antarctic Peninsula, I guess, which not a lot of players like anyway. So it's really on the opposite side of the spectrum. But when you're talking about Lijiang Tower, you're probably going to see what is a mirror composition on either side if they decide to play that. With Arisa's been very popular here as of late, just because you can get into that site very quickly. Lucio is always a good option when you get into the Guardian. And don't be surprised if you see a Junkrat when we get to Control Center. That would be one of the things, too, because a lot of the spam damage can get there, although I do know the meta right now is Bastion May. So if Bastion May gets pulled out, you're going to see that all three in general, just everything that you're going to see. But first map we are going to be pulling out, I believe, is going to be Night Market here. So with that in mind, again, Night Market a little more enclosed space. You like to see the Symmetra kind of cheese that we've seen a lot of times, the Symmetra teleporter up to the second floor. But what they pull out here is pretty. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It's not Night Market, because now I recognize the stairs. It is going to be Control Center. So 1 second left to go. We'll see what they decide to pull out, and it's very, very different on either side. Yes, they get a change here in a little while, which I'm from North Henderson. I like that. I actually am okay with this team. The fact that the Life Weaver gives you, I mean, yes, the singular healing, you do have that escape cold shit can give you that Discord orb as well, and the Diva can kind of go quickly, makes this spam just a little bit more bearable. Now with Cabarrus, with Cap Tech on the other side, you got the Orisa combination, but a Torbjorn on the other side is something I did not expect to see here in Control Center.
Work out very well, particularly against the Genji of Thule. That Torb can do a good job of just kind of keeping flankers at bay, and like a Genji coming out. Both of our sides have the Cyber Ninja in the pocket at the moment. Early advantage here, great positioning, and Everlow's going to find first blood, but that Lucio goes down. One that enabled the speed on to the point, no longer an option. Everlow goes to push forward, using that Javelin spin to stay alive. It's a bit of an escape. Nice move from Hamor. They're able to stay alive, but Cool Chicken caught out in the middle. Here comes Big One Chat. Able to bail out their Zenyatta, North Henderson. are in position to grab this first control.
Yeah, I absolutely love this combination from North right now, from North Henderson. Again, this may not be meta whatsoever, folks, but the Orisa is in good position. However, when Cool Chicken puts that Orb of Discord on you, yeah, there's a little bit of trouble for Everlow that's going to happen, especially when you don't have the healing. So Rama falling down early on wasn't a good thing either. So as we enter this next fight, North Henderson just has to keep up the mobility, and they can win this fight easily.
And you can see Big Chat is kind of going back and forth between the two high grounds, putting some pressure there on the outside. And as such, it means the fight in the middle is just easy because they're able to keep B. Cole out of the fight for so long. The rest of the team just cleans up the 5v4 on point.
Yeah, they clean it up, and I mean, you've got Cool Chicken already at a Transcendence. Hamworth's coming up on a Life Weaver Tree of Life as well. And you got Thule with that. Oh my goodness, Cool Chicken's just on a tear. Cool Chicken 1v1 B. Cole before, and now we'll 1v1 B. Cole again. I mean, this Zenyatta's insane.
Oh, you gotta respect the Cool Chicken Zenyatta. My goodness, B. Cole fighting that out the hard way after making that somber swap. Skyland is going to fall as well to the Zenyatta. Cool Chicken is just ice cold at the moment, or perhaps super hot. I can't decide which metaphor I want to go with. They're hacked now. I'm not sure it's going to make a difference. 15 health, and Cool Chicken gets that one too.
Is support the new DPS? I thought this is supposed to be the
Welcome to Overwatch 2,
where the supports are supposed to have like 5 times as much healing as they do damage. I don't think they're supposed to have as much damage as the DPS are doing. Cool Chicken might have the top damage in the game, but I mean, this is really good for North Henderson now. And Skylight gone. There's no chance to enter unless they got to go quickly now.
Yeah, it's CapTech kind of in a desperate situation. Oh, the self-destruct just makes it even more desperate. Finding 2 in the waning seconds. And, well, Cabarrus, early college of technology, end up just back in spawn, gate kept, can't even get out of the shuttle. 100-0 here for North Henderson.
Yeah, and again, 100-0, and again, I've been watching a lot of collegiate action. They would appreciate what North Henderson is doing, especially with this Life Weaver Zenyatta action going on right now. You have the Life Weaver, gives you an escapability. Not only that, it gives you vertical movement with that pedal platform. When you have that vertical movement, especially on a map like Control Center, you make sure that Beacole on that Torbjorn doesn't have any free reign, because if Beacole gets up there, at least you've got potential to get back up there and counter whatever the turret's got. And no ultimates coming online for CapTech. So now as we're coming back here, they now think that the Life Weaver Zenyatta combination is going to be the play. They're going to try to mirror this as best as they can. The only problem I see for CapTech right now is, again, not that same mobility that you've got with Cool Chicken moving on over to the Lucio. This is Garnet. Lucio boot can't happen.
Eliak that ends up bringing out the Zenyatta and ends up being the first to fall as Thule sees a vulnerable monk in the back line and a cowboy in a boot. Thule picking up 2 early kills and a double boot from Cool Chicken. Wow.
Oh my goodness. Oh my cool. You wish you could see the stats live here, because you would think Cool Chicken might have the most eliminations and final blows in this game, no matter what they play. Cool Chicken staying cool. I mean, just the kills, the damage, the eliminations, unbelievable right now. North Henderson difference right now in this game is Cool Chicken on that support.
Skylimit falls on the approach, can't even get across the bridge as Ramatra on the cast, and he's able to gun them down. And of course, Cool Chicken's gonna get in the feed. I mean, Cool Chicken's just gonna get a final blow in every single fight in this map, it appears.
1v1ing basically the Ash. I mean, this is unbelievable. But for North Henderson right now, the mobility is there, and I keep talking about this for CapTech, and even earlier on in our game. Zenyatta, Lucio, not a lot of healing. You're gonna get small singular healing, but for CapTech, I mean, you need to do something here. That Orb of Discord isn't really getting you much value right now, and CapTech not having an ultimate online isn't good for you either. North Henderson coming up on 5. They might not even need it with the Zenyatta mech already.
Yeah, CapTech looked to be falling back on kind of some comfort picks here on the back half of this sub-map. Everybody just pulling out a hero that they feel like they've got the most proficiency with, but unfortunately it's not really coalescing into a solid team effort. It becomes half the team going one way, half the team going the other, and you're trying to make a play, and I respect that, but the teamwork's just not quite there, Clutch.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you there. The teamwork's not there. But now, I mean, you've got a little bit of a semblance of a combination here. More Lucio, Meadow, a couple of seasons to go here. And, oh, there's apparently somebody's power went out. I
think they're just trolling.
Oh, that was a just kidding. Okay. But anyways, you're looking at the more Lucio combination now. Yes, you got a little bit more time to get out. You're waiting for the spam damage to get down. You want to stay in this map, though. You got to get out of the shuttle now because Cool Chicken's going to be waiting on the other side of this bird for you.
I mean, I like the swap from Eli going over to the Mora. Mora Lucio classic combo, especially with the Orisa trying to get Everlow in, but Skylinux doesn't make it there. 96%. Cold Chicken finally dies, I think the first time on this map, but it will amount to nothing here for CapTech. North Henderson with two very clean 100-0s to start off this first of two matchup.
Yeah, I mean, those points are as shiny and clean as just any reflection in the mirror, because North Henderson coming out here, especially swinging away, truly getting your play of the game with this Genji Blade, with the Dragon Blade that happens in the back line here, and just making sure that it's attached and splashed away on a couple of players, getting 4 total kills, actually, final pulls there. But for North Henderson, what you liked about their composition, what you liked about their gameplay is the target focus, the mobility. When you have a mobile composition like that, your target focus is there. What also helps is when Cool Chicken can 1v1 a DPS and win the 1v1. That always helps you out no matter what scenario it is. So Cool Chicken, I think, is your MVP in that last map there of Lijiang Tower. So as we head into the next map, what I want to see out from CapTech here is that for CapTech, you got to get some stability. There wasn't a lot of stability, especially when, again, you're 1v1ing a support player and yet the support player is winning. Play as a team, get together. You're going to have to group up, especially in a composition like what North Henderson has. Mobility is great, but if you can stave off that mobility, you've got a chance to win.
And I think if you're CapTech, perhaps just simplify the approach. Perhaps just put all your focus into keeping your Orisa alive. Like even with the DPS, their job is kind of keep pressure down so that the Orisa has room to work. Simplify your approach and just get everybody working towards a similar goal. And I think CapTech will find a little bit more success in some of these team fights. And Clutch, I mean, it's just putting one foot in front of the other. I mean, you can't look too far ahead. Just take it one team fight at a time. I know CapTech was probably maybe a little discouraged there towards the end of that map, but I did like a moment of let's slow down, let's talk about this, let's make a swap. I mean, they probably took a little too long in the scheme of things, but the core of that idea of, hey, let's just refocus, I think that's brilliant. I think that's a really good thing for any team to be able to do, is make sure you're communicating between team fights to find that one goal and keep everybody on the same page.
Yeah, and the best thing about this, right, is that even if it's a best of 2, you still get a little bit of a break in between. You say, okay, let's calm down, let's figure this out in between our matches. Yes, the map is set already, so you know what you can expect going into it. It's not like you do it. Unfortunately, they do not get the map pick if you're CapTech, but you do already know what the map is going to be, so you can at least strategize around what the map is going to be, which is going to be Midtown. And Midtown, as of late, has been a very popular pick amongst the players because of it's in the competitive pool. Kings Row, I guess in a competitive sense, has been taken out, at least in the higher ranks, but with Midtown at least involved, you get a little bit more of a chance to defend. If CapTech is going to defend first with that composition that they had, I like their chances defending. I don't maybe their attacking side wouldn't be great, but at least on their defending side, you know that the mobility wise, they have to come to you. You do not have to go to them at the start. They have to get towards you, which means you can stabilize. You've already got your stable setting up, and like you were saying, keep the Orisa up, keep your chances with the tank going up as well, and don't try to force a 1v1 with Cool Chicken as well as any of the sports, because you know they're bloodthirsty out there. Stabilize, keep calm. Yes, you are
initiating match.
At least 2 more maps to come back here. So now what we're going to see here on Midtown is that at least for the North Henderson team, you know what they can pull out. If they're flexible, we haven't seen the depth yet because it's only been 1 map. But if North Henderson is going to change what they're doing, then CapTech can play off of that. Or if CapTech knows that North Henderson isn't changing, they can stabilize. They can make a plan around it. You have 1 more map to do this.
I love the lo-fi ditty goes into Midtown. Like it's just a low-key banger, 100%.
I love. See, the thing about the Midtown though is I like Midtown, the map itself. But I mean, have you played Midtown lately, where it's like nighttime? I mean, all the neon lights are on. I love Midtown at night. I wish they would just stay that way, because like just Midtown at night, like the New York City streets at night are absolutely crazy.
Away from your doubts.
Well, your Cap Tech team bailing out of Concord will be starting us off on the defense here. Ramos sticking with the Zenyatta, and Iliac with that Moira we saw at the very tail end of Lijiang Tower. This is an extremely ambitious hole we're looking at, Clutch.
Yeah, this is a very ambitious one, and I don't know what the plan here was. I mean, you get the total mayhem kill on Zatuli, but I'm not too sure what the plan here was, guys. Captech trying to hold at the door, maybe give them a little, get at least one pick, but it's not working out.
Yeah, North Henderson just run right past the shield. Perhaps Captech was wanting to shield off the supports from being able to heal the tank and then try to focus down Big Lin Chat, but the entirety of North Henderson just run right past you. They just bulldoze right through that defense, run completely uncontested onto the objective where Ramatra can now set up and just pour spam into these tiny chokes.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're going to get the point now, so the choke no longer exists, at least in that small room, and now you're going to have the fire start coming out. But really, for now Tuli's just going to go off here, just dashing away. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Tuli. Oh!
You could have thought it could have
That's still a 4K for Tuli. I'm crediting Tuli with that last kill, Clutch, all right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I give honorable credit for the 4K to Tuli there.
Well, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, you would think that Tuli's name would appear right next to Vicol on the Bastion there, right? You would expect it to appear, but I guess not. It was self-death.
It did in our hearts, all right?
It did in our hearts.
It did in our hearts.
Absolutely. So you go underneath the tunnel now, and for Captech, again, the game is stabilization. You haven't seen a stable second yet in this round, and oh boy, this one's terrible.
Yeah, that was a dangerous move. Gets caught out in that side room. Cool Chicken just head on a swivel to pick out that Moira and force them into a bad spot. And now it's a massive player advantage here. A lot of sustain missing. Good shots from Ever, though, trying to equalize. And then down in the middle. Oh, but Everlow gets picked out of the sky. It's Tuli once again as the senior here from Hendersonville rises up and just is taking names left and right. This is going to be a point B cap unless Captech get out here quick.
Yeah, I don't think they can cap it anyway. 6 minutes and 4 seconds left to go. And again, the name of the game here, stabilization for me for Captech, and I have not seen a semblance of that even from the get-go. They opened up the doors, they tried to pull on Snam. Unfortunately, North Henderson coming up with better Snam. And again, this fight just dragging on right in front of the point. That the spawn rooms are just going to go in their favor if they keep this up.
Clean mechanics out of Tuli. Almost got. Look, Everlow is still sitting at sub 10 health. Finally, they're going to get topped off here in the back, but they've had to stay out of the fight so long that Skylimit and B-Cole just don't have the support they need. The healers from Captech are trying to top off the DPS, and, well, North Henderson take advantage of it every step of the way. Just finding the most vulnerable target and mowing them down one at a time. Back to spawn you go.
Yeah, and just, I mean, this healing is, I mean, and now you're going to try double flyers here, which I do like because you don't have a lot of, you don't really have a lot of hit scans, but the problem with this is it's an enclosed space, meaning the Zarya can still hit you if they wanted to, so now this fight continues on. Skyline is falling down, really low health already.
Cool Chicken, none other than shuts down the duplicate immediately. Will not allow Everlow to get a blade. Sound barrier now out here from Zaramo, but a Graviton Surge has two in place. That Suzu is going to fade out, and still North Henderson have plenty of resources to chop you down. Amor comes up with two final bloods of their own, proving that Cold Chicken's not the only support around here who's got some aim.
Yeah, I mean, and look at the time bank right now as they go all 3 points. 45 seconds over the 4-minute time bank. That's how quick that was. Essentially 8 minutes total of the map time. They finished that in 3 minutes and 15 seconds. That's got to be the quickest I've ever seen a team complete this entire map of Midtown. But now North Henderson know that their win con just stopping Captech at any point in this map, and they've got a 2-0, and they've got their foot into the door already for Wednesday's bracket and on. But for Captech, again, I mean, just the way that it wasn't really stabilized, the healing wasn't there as well. I mean, you said it yourself. Everlow was had 10 health for the longest time, and Elia couldn't get a heal on before finally getting to do so a couple of seconds later. But that's kind of been the storyline, right? Just not a lot of big things happening for Captech. It's all been North Henderson so far. 200-0, a perfect map on Lijiang Tower, and it's gonna look like for right now Captech pulling out this Reinhardt. If that stays, Reinhardt can be good, but against again another mobile team like North Henderson, and it's going to go up against the Sigma. It's a shield versus shield matchup, but not a lot of damage on that shield unless you've got Ramattra on this Junkrat right now. That's spam damage that's going to go underneath the main areas, and even if they go up in the choke of the train, it's not going to look good. So it's got to stay in that main area, and then just North Henderson pulling out the Iyari for the first time that we're going to see here.
Oh yeah, we do have an Iyari on Battlefield. Oh, and in Cool Chicken's hands, this is vicious. You gotta have the accuracy to get the value out of an Iyari to really make it work. But I think if anybody can do it, Cool Chicken has proven us that they are very capable. Early front positioning here. Oh, look at Zeromo. Zeromo's gonna go in and just sneak out some progress on the point. I don't hate it. B-Cold does fall on the front line, but nobody is caught the C9. This is going to be one tick picked up. Okay, there we go. Thule did move back there. There was that 33% piece of the pie, permanent progress, before Thule is able to finish off Zeromo.
I don't hate it. I love the fact that Zeromo went for that, and now when Zeromo is back up, you know that they're going to be watching the point. So if Zeromo can stay alive long enough, then that forces North Henderson to kind of turn around and pick and choose. But the big thing here is that Ramattra's already at 93% for an ultimate on the Junkrat, so a Riptire can just end all hopes of anything that Captech wants to go for.
Look at the rest of the ult charge, y'all. And there's Ramattra just sitting there with a casual tire. There's no way Captech are going to be ready for this. On to the point. Zeromo goes once again. Here comes the entirety of North Henderson this time. And Cool Chicken making great use of our newest hero at Overwatch 2. Finding Zeromo and not letting him have anything for free. Ooh, nice shot out of B-Cold, though. Could this bring it back? I mean, it's a pretty long run back here for North Henderson. This could give him a chance, Clutch.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you get them fast, you get it fast enough. Spawn rooms are in favor of the attacking team right now. So if you can go quickly again, Zeromo's back onto this point. You just gotta watch out for a junk right here, but Ramattra ends that, so it's back down to a 5v4 essentially.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, it worked the first time, but at this point, Zeromo just needs to be speeding the rest of the team in. The Reinhardt and the Reaper benefit so much from that additional speed, and now Skylimit is just in on their own. Eliak goes down. Yeah, Skylimit was somewhere in Narnia. There's no chance for them to get healed. Oh, and Everlow's at 2 health. Lucky to get out of that one alive.
Count your blessings for that one now. Wait, might even die here too if the Junkrat's smart enough on the play, but oh, Cool Chicken finding Zeromo already. I mean, this is the fight you didn't want to because now, oh boy.
Ramattra also apparently used that tire at some point and is about to like lap the entire lobby. Like Ramatra's coming up on a second tire, and everyone else is still on their first ultimate for the most part. We did just see that call out of Eliak, but
yeah, I mean, Everlow hasn't used a single Death Blossom yet either. And Ramattra, look, you said lap. Yeah, lap is going to happen because that check mark is about to pop up right now. And so, yep, there it is. And Ramattra might not even need it. 1 minute and 15 seconds left. Again, no stability for Captech whatsoever. North Henderson just making sure that they're uncomfortable. And yeah, Thule's just going to pop away.
Yeah, Eliak is in a bit of trouble. Faded out. Self-destruct in here from North Henderson. Oh. That's going to find Everlow. And just the struggles continue for Captech as they cannot find any foothold. Need to take that moment and breathe and refocus here.
Yeah, 45 seconds left to go. Not a lot on the board. North Henderson has 4 ultimates. They make it down 3. Here comes Ramattra's tire.
Oh, no. No, Captech trying to go through the back door, and Ramattra reads it. Both supports just get blown to bits.
As I was saying before, Ramattra decides to play spoiler to me. Yeah, you had ultimates on the board for Captech, but you really only have a Death Blossom to work with. North now having, oh, Death Blossom in the back.
Everlow trying to make a play up front, but unfortunately just nothing doing. Everybody from North Henderson was ready for it. Completely gobbled up by the Fence Matrix. We're going to Captive Sun combined with the Dragon Blade here at the very end. And that's going to be nasty. What an exclamation point here from North Henderson to close out this series. Cool Chicken and Thule combining some phenomenal mechanics. Clean as you like. The entire team looking so, so good. North Henderson with as clean a 2-0 as you could possibly.
Vantage point given up on back on the Lijiang Tower as well. Thule comes up with your play of the game, and why not, right? I mean, this is the one where this was the honorable 4K, right? This is the
yes,
yeah,
there
this is the honorable 4K. So, but in any situation. I love what North Henderson did there. They didn't have to play the meta to win the game. They didn't have to play that May Bastion combination. They played what their strength was. They played mobility. They played quickly. And yes, I mean, for Captech, they fall down to 0-2, but that doesn't mean they're out of the bracket just yet. You can still win one, and you can get in with that second and third placement. So for North Henderson, a team you really want to watch out for, especially Cool Chicken and Thule, the fact that they got all those kills on both, not only support, but on the DPS as well. You're looking at a very strong North Henderson team that is going off the meta. A lot of teams now will practice will play against the meta or practice against the meta. This North Henderson team is going to be the wild card here that you want to watch out for, because it looks like with everything that they've been given so far and everything that they just gave us, my oh my, this is a strong North Henderson team coming up here, and they're going to make it into the Wednesday on. So, I mean, this team in the bracket is going to be very scary for anybody that plays against them.
I mean, and when you have a player like Thule that can play Genji to that high a level, or a player like Cool Chicken that can play Ayari to that high a level, you don't need to play meta. If they can continue to pop off like that, please, North Henderson, keep doing your thing. I love it. I love to see the identity. You're kind of carving out your own niche.
And mind you, without the nano boost on Thule, mind you, they didn't have a single nano blade at all, and Thule still popped up for how many kills they did. I mean, that's unreal.
No auto. Yeah, no auto. They still get the job done. It sounds like we may be getting a bit of some bonus action here. Still waiting on confirmation on that, but I'm crossing my fingers. We may get to go into another game here shortly.
Yeah, I mean, you would love to see another game here, but I don't think it will happen. So, I mean, we would love to see another game, especially with how quick that one was. Another game.
Doomfist just suddenly appearing on your screen, friends, as we are cutting into Panther Creek, up 1-0 in our opening map at Lijiang Tower as we continue through round 2.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so we are going into Panther Creek right now. I've really playing. Oh, I guess this is another stream going on here, and for right now, it looks like the team 1-0 Panther Creek on Lijiang Tower again. I mean, this one just started, but I'm liking what Panther Creek is playing so far. So they've got the Doomfist, they've got the Symmetra sign up as well, and with Symmetra, I mean, that's going to keep the Somber in check here, and especially, oh boy, when you got in a race off the map, yeah, that spells good news for you.
Look, light mode. God, I forgot how ugly light mode is. Anyway, Doomfist finds themselves off the side. I am not reading out that full name. I'm just calling you Doomfist. This is a high school stream. Come on now.
Yeah, and right now, I believe those names are incorrect for right now. But anyways, you're looking at the Proton Projector out from Meldon. This is going to try to stave away the team, which it does. I mean, Doomfist off the map, and so that Proton Projector just to make sure you can still keep the spam damage up in the door, and that's absolutely what they do. Good win here for Panther Creek.
Yeah, they're able to lock down this so difficult choke and even have the teleport. I mean, not exactly in a clever spot, just kind of out in the middle, but it can provide some options. And it really is indicative of how they want to use their teleport. I like clever use of the teleport. I think it's so important to modern Symmetra play. It can really enable Panther Creek to throw a wrench into EE Smith would be their opponent here. Hey, well, speaking of, that is a big wrench from Tower. Holy cow. Amp Matrix plus Tac Visor equals death in massive amounts.
Yeah, massive amounts indeed. I mean, that's a lot of damage being poured out, and now you got 87%. Somebody's got to find a way to touch a point here, and they will, I mean, get the Somber at the very least, maybe just to turn them face around and just to see if they can get one more touch here. But the way I look at this right now, oh, Panther Creek's got this.
Yep, Tower's got to come up with another one. And just nobody can even get close. EE Smith not able to get through that choke. One of the most difficult doorways in the entire game to try to punch through. Once Panther Creek locked that down, there was no taking it away from him.
EE Smith that they take on right now, so we get the information here in just a couple of moments. But overall, I mean, from what we saw, not a bad map at all, especially when the Doomfist is working the way it is, and of course the Tactical Visor plus the Application Matrix plus the Kitsune Rush. I mean, that's what else do you want? I mean, that's so much damage.
Double speed, double damage, and auto aim. Like,
yeah, I mean,
that just sounds disgusting.
that's just Blizzard. You may want to look at what just happened. Just looking at that's considered.
It's a pretty good combo. I love to see the teamwork, Clutch. I love to see the teamwork.
Oh yeah, that's the words we'll use. Pretty good combo. Yeah, that's the word words we're gonna use there, and that's just absolute great teamwork. I love it. The fact that you're gonna have the Kiriko cleanse there as well, the Baptiste app matrix and the Kitsune rush, all for the soldier to just pop off on the tac visor. Yes, you're using 3 ultimates, but hey, if you're gonna use 3 ultimates right at a choke point that is basically impossible to get through, why not? Just throw it all out there on the floor. So now, next map, as we know, is going to be the same thing in round number 2, Lijiang Tower that comes up. So with Lijiang Tower, or I'm sorry, not Lijiang Tower, Midtown. We just saw Lijiang Tower. Midtown that comes up next. Hey, Baptiste Kiriko spam yet again underneath that trainer in the subway. Again, that entire choke point. The way that works out, it's going to work out well, especially with the Doomfist. A good mobility that you can get over the train. Good mobility all around here for this team. The immortalities, I guess you could say, with the protection suits, along with the immortality field from the Baptiste and this Kiriko, make sure that this team is not going to die. So I like what I'm seeing out of Panther Creek right now.
Curious to see if they want to stick with the Doomfist look. Like, is this part of Panther Creek's identity? Are they a Doomfist team? I mean, it's kind of in the tank player's name, at least the account that they're using right now. So is that a strategy we're going to see permeate even on defense? Where, I mean, on attack, absolutely go over the train with the Doomfist and maybe catch somebody out and everybody converge, which takes a good amount of teamwork to make a dive like that work, mind you. But on defense with Doomfist, that's a completely different story. You got to have an aggressive plan, but without overextending. It becomes a very delicate balance, a knife edge kind of defense when you have to play as aggressive as you do with the Doomfist.
And well, the good thing about what Kiriko does provide as well with that Doomfist is that she can just go right on over and kind of protection Suzu in any case. But then the problem is reeling back. So that I guess oh no, I guess this might be a different game now because I'm seeing a lot of different players, so I'm not too sure which game we're seeing.
Yeah, this is in no way the same game.
Yeah, this is in no way the same game.
Oh, we are seeing a Doomfist though, surprising enough. So we're moving on to North Mech playing Harding here. I guess Panther Creek it was just so dominant. It's like, hey, let's cut it. Let's see what else is going on around the league. And we cut it just in time to see Harding take this series and earn their second win here at the group stage.
Short fight. Not much I can say about that besides ultimates being used there by Harding as the team there. I mean, you're going to see this right here for a play of the game. Yeah, tactical visor keeps in a rush. Doesn't even need the app matrix, by the way. Just this soldier just kind of running past the app matrix saying, I got this. Just give me the keeps in a rush and we'll be okay. So, I mean, again,
I love the idea that we...
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, I love the idea that we cut to a different...
Yeah, I mean,
it was the same play that we saw in the same combo with the tag visor and the Kitsune rush and the ant matrix. Like, I swear those were not the same team, y'all. That was the exact same combo.
The Doomfist wasn't on the other side. Wasn't on the side with the Kitsune rush either. But yeah, I mean, it's insane that we're seeing the same thing.
Yeah, it was the exact same thing. I mean, history repeats itself, friends. And as we are going to take a little bit of a break, but we do have more VESL coming up. Final match of the day will actually be Panther Creek themselves once again taking on Wake Young. We return to the group stage for VESL. Welcome back, my friends, here in the Qualifiers VESL. Our day one of our round robin, and going into our final match of the day. We've got Panther Creek taking on Wake Young here out of the Wake Conference, both in the Raleigh area. Should be a good match here, Clutch.
Should be a good one. Yeah, I mean, final match of day number one. Obviously, we got 5 games to go through in the group stages, so a lot to talk about. I wanted to see if we can get that group stage graphic up, because that will be of what things are going to go for so far. And you can see Panther Creek right now with a 2-0, so you expect them already having their foot in the door for tomorrow's place. Now, if they win this, automatically they would get the bye, because no other team can get to the 3-0 spot. So that first place bye to get into the regional play is really, really good for their hopes right now. And then obviously, or rather to get the 3-0 start would be really good after to try to get to 5-0 later on, I guess you could say as well. While Wake Young, on the other hand, I believe 1-1 at the start of this. So, I mean, for right now, you take a look at the groups, and so far, I mean, Wake Young's got that 1 win underneath their belt. And so for Panther Creek, having a 2-0, got that little bit of an advantage after that first game and after the second game as well. So overall, getting the 3-0, getting their foot in the door, are ready to make sure that they've got that first round bye. Obviously, going up 3-0 would be great. 4-0 means that the probability goes up even further. But right now, we're focused on this third game. And so what I'm expecting from a 2-0 team is, against a 1-1, is most likely going to be pretty much what we've seen from the very dominant teams that we've seen so far. Volskunk, it's more or less just making sure that you're stable, making sure that maybe you're playing in the off composition. We didn't see the Bastion, we didn't see the May, we didn't see the Orisa in that last game, and yet the Diva worked out so well for them. The mobility worked out so well. Genji without a nano boost is so good as well, apparently, if it's in the hands of the right people. So as I'm expecting a 2-0 team to come up here and come out swinging.
I mean, a Genji with a Kitsune Rush underneath it, also pretty darn strong. Doesn't have to just be comboed with the Nano. And we've seen some creative uses of the support ults today thus far. Definitely think it'll be an important factor carrying into this third and final matchup. And I would agree, Panther Creek on paper with that 2-0 start, you would expect this squad coming out of carry to be the favorites on paper at least.
Yeah, again, you'd expect it, and as well as the experience between these two teams as well. Wake Young, that we know of right now, has 2 juniors, one senior. Actually, I'm sorry, 3 juniors, 1 senior, 1 sophomore in their ranks. Meanwhile, if you look at Panther Creek's starting lineup, it's 4 seniors right now, 4 seniors and 1 sophomore, which is Viksta. We'll get to him later on, but 12th graders all across the board for Panther Creek. You expect that experience to come into play, which might be the reason why that they're 2-0. It's not only experience, but you know that this is their last year. This is their last chance to get into a land like this, right? It's their last hurrah, I guess you could say, in the high school era. We go on to our first map right now, which is a waste of time. Volskunk, you wanted to say something here.
I'll say it's their last chance to really show what they've got to colleges that are recruiting as well, which at the core is really what this is all about. Like, let's get these players noticed by the colleges, get these kids playing, let's get these students playing in collegiate, and get them a college education. And that is definitely a strong driving factor for a lot of these seniors today. And we talked about quite a few on the Panther Creek side. Only one here for the Wake Young Leadership Academy, and that's going to be Ciccone. She is the captain of this squad and the oldest of the bunch. So Wake Leadership will be relying on that experience and on that seniority to help carry them through this.
Yeah, the tank caller, the tank being the shot caller as well. Right, you're right. Ciccone's going to have a lot on their shoulders, and a lot of her experience here is going to try to carry this. But you take a look at the compositions right now for Panther Creek against Wake here, and coming up, Wake pulling out the Bastion that we normally see, but Panther Creek, we saw earlier on, right before we hit a break, that Doomfist will come out for one of the players, and then the Ana and the Zenyatta. I do like the Ana pick onto the Doomfist Zenyatta, the Orb of Discord as well. That Orb of Discord's probably just going to stick on the Bastion as we get into the first fight.
Discord Orb thrown on the Cloud right out of the gate. You can see a lot of guns pointed at the Genji. He has to deflect and try to get out of there. Finds the Doomfist on the way out. So the 1-for-1 trade favoring Wake Leadership, and they know it. There's the go button. Everybody's surging forward and cleaning up some kills. Wake Leadership, despite us saying, you know, perhaps the underdog on paper, well, they grab first control.
Yeah, I mean, I like it, though. For Wake, you've got a lot of mobility, like we've been saying. Fast game, obviously got to play fast as well. You have a lot of escapes. You have a lot of places to go, besides maybe the Bastion, but even the nade can get you out of situations. For Panther Creek, not a lot of it unless you count the legs of Soldier and maybe the teleporter of Spencer. But other than that, oh my god, I was just going to dash away for a kill here.
I don't know what they're feeding these Genji players in North Carolina. This is the second one. Cloud showing up here and showing us some real prowess. Nice, Hale's coming through, allows Cloud to stay topped off and in the thick of this fight against the Doomfist, even chasing him back. Block is out, trying to power up the punch. No, it's just gonna push Cloud X back a little bit. The duel continues, Doomfist comes out on top. That's using the meteor strike to finish off the Moira as well. So 2 important kills fall under Doomfist's right hook. And this is gonna be a clapback for Panther Creek. They're gonna flip this point, but not without some casualties.
Yeah, I mean, I like Wake, the way they were fighting there. They're going to get the flip, yes, but they got it up to 50%, held it on as long as they can. And so for Panther Creek, not bad for them to come out here, but they used the Meteor Strike. They invest what they could there. Arctica now on over to the Baptiste, and you've got Asalado on the Moira here. So really, this is just going to be a quick fight for Wake, and if they can build up an ultimate, they've got a chance to win this one out quickly.
Space has less than 20 health and so close to that coalescence. Could be just the ticket that they need. But Swagcheck is caught out on the outside by themselves. Twisted Space tried to get them an orb, but it was just a split second too late. And it's a 5v3 here for Panther Creek as they look to pursue the rest of these kills and match the percentage put up by their opposition.
Eldon coming up big with a full-time projector there with the entire shield, and that also separated out the rest of the team. You can see the punch that came out from Doomfist here that separated 3 teammates away from the Bastion as well. So now coming into this 50% going to take the lead, and so Wake is going to find a way to flip this back, especially now that they're going to have ultimates online.
Oh, that was 3 people caught in that punch, and the Suzu and the Coalescence are forced out. And Doomfist is not going anywhere. Doomfist stays entrenched in your back line, massacring every single player they come across. Now the Bastion's on their radar. Oh, that block got powered up, and Swagcheck is punched into oblivion.
Yeah, Doomfist is going to be one of 2 things. Either a really big annoyance or really easy to kill depending on the composition right now. Without an Orisa, without anything to kind of stun him out, this Doomfist is kind of get free reign. And so when the Doomfist pops, the Doomfist is going to make a lot of your team kind of regret what they're playing right now. So for Wake, they're going to try to play on over to the Ramatra instead, maybe kind of try to stop the Doomfist and maybe just try to spam damage with the Nemesis form. But other than that, Wake's got all the advantage. Or Panther Creek has the advantage coming up with attack 5.
Oh, here comes the Fox Blade, though. Cloud does have the speed of the Fox at their back. And, well, perhaps just the red herring here on the point with all eyes turned towards the Genji. Swagcheck moves in and catch everybody unaware.
A good immortality to help them out. So now they've got the point back. So the question is, can they hold on? Your only ultimate coming online is that is the artillery barrage here. Panther Creek's got both of the support ult, as well as probably going to be a meteor strike and a full-time projector. So Panther Creek coming up on this with advantage with kind of fight.
Swagcheck is able to hunt Meldon down. But they do fell themselves. 2 for 2, back and forth. Chakota, the only tank stand-in here, but has to make sure it survives through the Coalescence on the other side. Cloud9 cannot. Antarctica and Athalotl combined for that kill. And 1 by 1, Wake Leadership are starting to crumble. Tower up in the skies and able to just blow back, super backhand way back to spawn. Into smithereens they go. And it's just Chaconi left on this point with an annihilation. That's not going to be enough. This point's going to flip back. It's going the distance, but Panther Creek are the ones with the positioning. They have stabilized on the point. They should take this first sub-map.
They should, and yeah, like I said, usually in Overwatch, the more ultimates you have, the better. Panther Creek just showed it. Second one coming up just a little bit too late with that annihilation, so they do take first point. Very well done from Panther Creek, knowing that they could stay calm. Even if Wake had it up to a couple of percentages, they knew that they could take that right back from them. So now we head into the next map of City Center here. Really nothing changing from Panther Creek. You know you have that Doomfist working really well. And again, from Wake, you have nothing to stop this Doomfist creating havoc for your backline. Really, I mean, even if it's just the Mercy, you could pick up a Brigida here to maybe stop that Doomfist. If the Doomfist hits a shield bashing Brigida, even if it's not a rally, it'll still stop the Doomfist for just a couple of moments here. So you could try to counter that. And unfortunately for Wake, nothing doing with the counter on the Doomfist. So this Doomfist is just going to keep running free. And Panther Creek, again, I mean, now with the Far as well, there's no hit scans either unless you have the Bastion shredding away at it. So I expect Panther Creek to come out here swinging, especially with the Doomfist that can't be stopped.
I think Wake Leadership are relying on mobility just to try to avoid the Doomfist as opposed to deal with them directly. Swagcheck is able to deal with that Far, though. The wings are clipped. Wake Leadership with a great start. Here comes Doomfist, working into the back line, but it's going to be a Nemesis form out of Chaconi that will send them packing. They do fall back into the waiting arms of their own supports. That's a lot of working around to the outside, but that Bastion has your number. Chaconi gets some credit for the final blow, but it was Swagcheck who did the bulk of the damage. Wake Leadership, another good start here as they'll win first fight for the second map in a row. Melvin teleports back on, picks up 2. There's no way you bring this back, right? You gotta be kidding me.
Well, you can bring it back because now, I mean, you've only got the Mercy in the middle of a res here, so they get the res up on the Genji, but you still have some extra turrets all over the place you gotta worry about it. If Melvin gets a full charge, it's gonna be bad news.
Ooh, Kiriko's so low, Melvin finds that kill, and they manage to melt down Swagcheck as well. Unbelievable. Holy Panther Creek. Meldon Jr. just refused to die.
Yeah, in a place where the symmetric turrets can be just so bad for you because, again, for in City Center at the very least, you have to push past the Rotunda if you want to make any space whatsoever. So the fact that Panther Creek has a composition that allows them to stay alive means that Meldon gets a lot of charge, gets a lot of chances to use their turret and the teleporter as well. So Panther Creek stays alive there as much as they possibly can. So Wake has got to come up big with this, especially on an artillery strike and keep any rush coming up.
Super back hit. I mean, had to be used. You hate to throw it out that early. Kitsune rush from Wake Leadership trying to get the way back onto this point, but the Doomfist is still causing so many problems. Has already found the Kiriko out of the back line. We'll take Cloud X down as well before finally falling. Res back onto the Kiriko means that Wake Leadership do have an opportunity to get back into this. As the circle around and it's just waiting up this photon barrier for now. Wake Leadership, there it is. The artillery strike coming right as the photon barrier fades, finding a pair of kills, and now Wake Leadership move on to take back the objective.
Yeah, so they'll take it back for right now, but it's a good stall up until 60%. This is what we saw last time. Wake took it over right around the 50% mark, took it back. But now for Panther Creek, they're only coming up with one ultimate, maybe a second with a Coalescence, with the Coalescence as well. Other than that, nothing doing for them. So for Wake, they can hold on to this, but it's just got to be a shred. And the self-destruct can also be big if Chaconi puts it there because there's no shield to protect.
Put it for a moment, goes back out. Teleport in and attack visor from Tower. Cody just want to make sure that they couldn't teleport to the back line, but Tower doesn't need it. Is able to just put out so much damage. Wake Leadership get corralled behind this objective, and Panther Creek move in from both sides to clean up. And no surprise, Doomfist is there. The self-destruct does end up getting one with that lack of shield, but Doomfist has enough punching power that there's nobody left to follow up on it.
Yeah, and this is going to be a good fight here for Panther Creek. They didn't use their ultimates. Also, effectively, their Axolotl doesn't have the Coalescence up, so they'll just clean up house here. Thor, though, Tower, though, doing a really good job. Even if they died with the Factory Visor, did enough to turn ahead and make sure Wake is kind of just unfocused on what they were doing there because you want to get rid of the soldier as fast as possible. So now we get into it. And look, they're just going to spawn tap them all the way back.
Yeah, Twisted Space tried to res Super Bat Kid back into the fight, but just gets absolutely denied and gunned down by Tower, who's holding that outside flank angle. Running out of time. Wake Leadership have to make sure and get onto this point to try to initiate, give themselves a last chance, but what a sleep! Arctica's not having any of it. Cloud X gets totally put to sleep. The Sandman is on the job. Panther Creek will completely deny Wake Leadership. They do get a touch at the end. It's a nice move here from Super Bat Kid, just swift stepping in onto the Tracer, swag checked. You never give up, but it is insurmountable odds here for Panther Creek, or for Wake Leadership, rather.
Yeah, for amount of damage and the amount of stall that was being put out there from Panther Creek. You saw it earlier on. I mean, you yourself said, there's no way they turn this, right? And I'm thinking in my head for Panther Creek earlier on in City Center, there is a way. You keep Meldon alive, and Meldon stayed alive there, and that's why the Symmetra is going to get you your play of the game. This may have happened in map number 1, but it shows you the potential of the Symmetra. Yes, Symmetra does less damage than before, but still, just the full focus fire beam that happens when you get it the full charge is absolutely crazy. Perfection with the Symmetra play, so I absolutely love what they did there. It's a stall composition, it's a way to defend, and when you win the point, that Symmetra is just absolutely deadly because defending a point and trying to run into a Symmetra is super, super hard when you've got a stall composition like that. Love to see what Panther Creek does, and now again with Doomfist, Wake Leadership rather, just had nothing to stop it, nothing to counter the Doomfist whatsoever, which allowed this Doomfist to just kind of run free in the back line, and then that's where the rest of the team, like Tower and Vicesta as well, can just, or Malden Jr., excuse me, can just run right in with the DPSs and just kind of say, hello, we're just going to melt you down right after that. So we're going into another game after this, I guess, but...
Yeah, I was just going to conclude by saying when you have a player as strong as Arctica on that Symmetra, I mean that's the kind of ability you get. Like that's the power you have. Yeah. We see the 4K in the play of the game, but that stall, that was impossible odds. Like, they had no business winning that fight. That was absolutely ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
You did mention, I think we are going to cut away from this one as Panther Creek look to be firmly in control of this series. Looks like we might cut into North Henderson taking on Sun Valley.
Yeah, North Henderson, Sun Valley for that one, but I think we saw North Henderson earlier on, and yeah, North Henderson is the one that was 2-0, and we saw Ramatra playing the Junkrat before, but I guess they switched roles here because Ramatra now playing the Junker Queen instead. Cool Chicken still playing the aggressive support, I guess you could say, but they're about to go into their first map, and Cool Chicken instead playing the main healer, which I'm very surprised about. Hammer instead playing the Yachty, which is more the off healer. So the fact that Cool Chicken is playing the main healer means, I guess, and Ramatra going on the tank means, I guess we haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a double flex support setup. And interesting on how you want to classify a Yari in that way.
I think I've seen a lot more aggressive Yaris than anything else. The way that North Henderson is going to play, it's probably going to be a lot more aggressive.
And then, like I say, Ramatra kind of coming to the takeover with the Junker Queen, but Big Lin Chat, who was formerly playing the tank for this squad, at least in the previous series, is the first to fall. Here is our opening map as we're back on our way. So Sun Valley, well, it's a good start. They should be able to grab first control. Here comes Thule in. No. Light just immediately sent him packing.
Yeah, again, what I'm seeing from a lot of these teams is they're not playing, they're not playing the meta or anything. They're just going with what comfort picks or what their coaches brought up. I think only our first game really kind of brought half the team at least to bring to the meta part. But what they're doing right now for Sun Valley, mobility, that's the name of the game here besides the Ana. You've got the Wrecking Ball just kind of wreaking havoc and making sure that they're kind of looking all over the place. Where is this Wrecking Ball going to go up next? And now this Genji also doing the same thing. Where are they going to go next? So Sun Valley holding on to this pretty well so far. And looks like they can defend a lot because Genji's coming up on 70% with a blade.
Gonna go initiate. Paul drive down onto the Genji. Thule's able to get some heals. Just throw up that deflect back up. No worse for wear, but it does kind of make North Henderson question. Thule finds an opening, finds Tanuki out of the back, and now it's go time. Thule moves in for another. The Genji specialist finds 3 in this fight, and immediately North Henderson are right back in this map.
Yeah, they knew what to do there. I mean, credit the Cool Chicken there from the bio grenades, excuse me. The bio nades absolutely coming up big, making sure that really Pog can't get into there. So instead they opt for the cleanse of the bubbles, which is going to be the Zarya. Tanuki can only has one cleanse, which is that protection Suzu, but now Pog's going to have 2 bubbles to cleanse out everything else.
Already used early here, trying to enable light. Who has this blade ready to go? Spots. Cool Chicken up on the high ground. The sleep misses. The dash is in. Nade used already. Cool Chicken has no cooldowns, but Light is hesitant. Doesn't want to jump down into the thick of the team. Now with the Junker Queen gone, you've got to pull off that katana. Tries to find Thule. Thule's able to dance around. Sometimes the attention back onto the Yana, and Cool Chicken is, well, just spliced in 2. Will eventually find Big Light chat as well. But a Genji Bell, Pog comes in to disrupt the balance and send Thule packing.
I am surprised at that fight for all intents and purposes. I mean, they're still holding on, by the way. Ramatra's still on this point and very well could make a difference. Yeah, Ramatra can make the biggest difference in the world. This JQ healing can be huge.
I mean, nobody tracked the Ramatra, or the Junker Queen of Ramatra, rather. Not to be confusing, but Ramatra just moves in, and Sun Valley all turn their attention out towards the middle. Ramatra comes in through the hallway and finds an opening. Not only stalls the point up, but gets the kill on to Tanuki as well, or Tanuki as well.
Yeah, and now North Henderson coming up on 3 ultimates. Sun Valley coming up on 3 of their own, but the biggest one going to be that Carnage. Nothing to cleanse that unless you get a really big protection Suzu from Tanuki. So already Kitsune Rush is going to come out, and this is going to have to be quick.
Yep, Rampage is going to hit 4. The Suzu was already gone. That is everybody caught in that monstrous Rampage. What a play out of Ramatra. The Junker Queen coming up big. North Henderson take the first sub-map on Oasis.
Very, very impressed by North Henderson's flexibility. Cool Chicken moved on over to Lucio, which is fine because you had enough healing for the moment with the Yachty, with the healing pylon. Anyways, as long as that healing pylon stays up, you're good. But at the same time, too, that Rampage turns out to be big. Like you said, Protection Suzu got you super early on. So that Rampage goes absolutely crazy with 4 being caught up inside of it, 4 teams turning purple. And that's a lot of healing for Ramatra when you think about it. No, folks, again, Ramatra not being the ultimate there. The Rampage, of course, coming from the Junker Queen. But either way, with Ramatra getting so much of that overhealing coming up with that Rampage, that just turned into an easy fight for North Henderson to win, especially with the Rampage getting 4. So we head into City Center now, and again, Sun Valley coming out with 2 bubbles and a cleanse from the Tanuki Protection Suzu. So this is, instead, Pog going to the Orisa instead. This could very well stop their progress because Orisa right now in a very good position, so long as you get enough healing to keep the Orisa up.
Almost impossible to kill, it feels like. Especially with such strong healers as an Anakiri, keeping the Orisa alive. With Fortify Suzu. Speaking of Suzus, that was perfectly timed, so Ramatra won't get the bonus healing off of that. Nice sleep! Ramatra is just taking a nap while the rest of Sun Valley starts to surround them. Is desperately trying to stay alive with the Carnage. Gets enough damage down to where Pog has to think twice and can't overextend. Especially with Thule in the back putting pressure onto the back line. Sun Valley did not like that situation. Health bars start going low. They start backing up. They start second-guessing themselves. And North Henderson smell blood in the water.
Yeah, North Henderson there. I don't. If you noticed there, right? I mean, Ramatra got kind of grouped out, kind of just got javelin spun into the team to get surrounded, but then got healed up for so much, keeping him alive. And now it's just the back half here because now they're just staggering out. You really don't want this if you're Sun Valley. It's going to happen anyways. But the way that the healers are working out, credit Cool Chicken and Hammer for keeping Ramatra up the entire time, because not all of that healing was from Ramatra's passive, so well done by them.
I mean, barely any of that healing was from the passive. Carnage onto the Fortify, I mean, they were getting half what they normally would off of that cooldown. But still good pressure onto Pog as well to kind of force them back out of the situation. It was just wonderful teamwork. And now Pog's making a change. It was like, okay, Orisa's not working out against the Junker Queen. Let's try something different. Let's try to avoid the Junker Queen altogether.
I'm very surprised.
Oh, that's not going to work. Oh,
yeah,
no.
It's not going to work.
Immediately, North Henderson just collapsed on it. They make that read, and Pog just didn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah, I'm very surprised
Thule's
that the switch to... Yeah, Thule's mechanics are insane. Somebody gotta... If you're gonna look for a Genji player, by the way, recruiters, you're looking at Thule right now because Thule's mechanics are insane. But you're looking at a switch from Pog into the D.Va. I'm not too sure if that's the greatest idea because again, maybe you're countering out the soldier for if anything, and maybe looking to eat the captive Sun. But North Henderson has 5 ultimates coming online. Sun Valley, you lose out on that Graviton Search, and you're gonna have 2 ult, 3 ults to work with.
I mean, Sun Valley have to get through this choke for the team is going to find any value. I mean, they're running into so much ultimates. Both DPS ult out. Thule is there just to cut through everyone. That's a 4K for Thule. Light's going to pull out a blade in a 1v5. Finds two. Big Lid's down, and Walt gets 3. Light pulls out 3 in a desperate moment, but there's nobody there to finish off the last 2 players. Oh, I loved the heroics. I love the tenacity out of Light, but it is North Henderson able to hang on.
Wow, just imagine if Sun Valley was to stay alive there and Light comes up. Oh my goodness. Was this the... No, this wasn't the final fight. Or was it? It might just be, actually. It was the final fight. Yeah, I didn't realize it was 0%. But it's the final fight. Heroics and all. Yes, Light dies, but... Man, I mean, what a finish to that map. I mean, if Light, I would say if Light has one healer with them, Light wins that fight. I mean, that's insane to win all of that heroics just to go for naught. But overall, Panther Creek making the right moves, knowing that they could have saved the ultimates, they could save it in all in the bank. They played aggressively, nothing really to stop anything going on there, especially the Junker Queen there for North Henderson. I mean, it was an absolutely great game from them. Pretty clean, if I might add as well, despite maybe 1 or 2 fights not going their way. Either way, just an impressive performance, especially with the Junker Queen that usually doesn't get seen, but with nothing to stop the Junker Queen and the protection Suzu's being used kind of early on in fights that allows that Junker Queen just to go rampant.
Well, Thule was putting in so much pressure on.
Oh, yeah.
It was such a difficult situation for the backline to try to do anything from Sun Valley. Like, it's just, do you hold on? Do you let your team die in front of you, trying to be too conservative with a Suzu because you only can use it on the Junker Queen? Like, that doesn't work either. It's such a knife's edge and a difficult choice. And I mean, Henderson have a plan, like they execute beautifully. When we see in their ultimate usage in particular, they seem to have really good strategy for how they want to use ult. It's not just a solo effort or an individual perspective on, I've got Blade, now I can get kills. It's, hey, do we have the Tac Visor with it? Why don't we combo that so the Tac Visor holds him stuck behind cover, and then the Blade can go through and they have nowhere to run. It's this kind of coaching, this kind of strategy. Why they were 2-0 and look at Dominant to move on to a 3-0. But we're going to go ahead and cut back to our original match as we head into King's Row and return to Panther Creek taking on... Wait, nope. We are still in... the same match. We are still in
Sun Valley.
North Henderson versus Sun Valley. Yeah, North Henderson is on the left, Sun Valley on the right.
Yeah, and so for King's Row, this is Scrims Row. I mean, right? That's what the name of what players call this is. Scrims Row, the only map now that can tie, if anything. But you take a look at what North Henderson has done. Again, North Henderson on your left side of the screen. But now Cool Chicken is going to go onto the DPS. So, I mean, Cool Chicken can play an off healer, main healer. I mean, Cool Chicken. You might as well throw Cool Chicken on tank at this point and see what happens. A lot of changes being made though. Bingland Chad instead for North Henderson being swapped in for, I believe, Ramatcha moving on over to the Genji instead on the DPS side. Thule now instead on the Ana. So this is just craziness happening on North Henderson's side. Everybody's switching places. Everybody's switching roles. And I mean, we'll see what this comes out as, because they're defending on the side to start. And with the May on King's Row, you can probably tell that good things will start unless you have something that can shred that wall, which doesn't look likely unless you have a Bastion on on Sun Valley side.
They do have the Baptiste, so at the very least they could jump up over the wall and try to get an Immortality kill down. But Macho finds first blood, go back into that DPS role. Same setup we saw from them earlier in the day with Big Lin Chat on the tank role and Ramatcha playing DPS. Light gets melted down, trading themselves out for that Genji player. Could be an opening here for Sun Valley.
Could be an opening, but you got to go now, and not a lot of charge here for Pog either. Pog's not going to get a lot of charge off of this. You want to be about 50 to or 40 to 50 as about right now, but these bubbles not just being utilized in the right way. And so Cool Chicken getting a kill into Tsunuki means, again, Sun Valley's just stalled out, no speed to get through the choke, especially if they're going to be wary of this May wall.
And Tsunuki has died twice now, so barely any ult charge there for the support. Making that swap over to the Brig. Defensive wall used from Cool Chicken, just kind of protect from Light, who was getting very aggressive on the left-hand side of that statue. Moving in, Pog has got a little bit more charge to work with now. Uses up that second bubble, and everybody just stops shooting them. Meanwhile, here comes Light trying to work through the hotel. Suzu used, and Ramacha is able to get out of there safely. But Light's not giving up on this. 2-tap, and Ramacha is gone. Now headed into the backline. There's no Suzu to protect you. Fortunately, the D.Va is able to peel, but Sun Valley, you're starting to get some space. Immortality Field will keep him alive. There comes the Blizzard. The counter punch is huge. North Henderson with a ginormous Blizzard, courtesy of Cold Chicken.
Yeah, now Punk's just going to go back to the spawn room with the rest of the team. 65% only to a Graviton third. This D.Va's already got 97%. North Henderson looking at 3 ultimates, only having to invest 1 Blizzard to win that fight. Sun Valley's going to have to come up. And now Sun Valley, instead of opting to wait for an ultimate here, they were about 10% away from that. Light's going to go on over to the Sombra instead, see if this makes the big difference. Maybe to stop the D.Va, but that's the only thing I can see the Sombra working out for, especially with the Sombra reworks in. I mean, that it's just going to be a thrown thing. And now, look, Maywall's got Pog stuck yet again.
There's like 2 sides of the camp on the Sombra right now. Either ridiculously powered or ridiculously underpowered. There seems to be no middle ground. Pog trying to push in 94 to a grab of their own, using that bubble to gain some entrance. Ice Block already out, but as well as a Kitsune rush here from the defense, and that enables Thule to get Tanuki down with the nade. Even in the support role, Thule's still just as lethal, but finds themselves on the wrong end of that Zarya, and Light Sombra working out. Both supports. Now go on here for North Henderson. Sustain notably lacking. Sun Valley will grab point A.
Uh-oh, wait a minute.
And we
might
got
have
a
to have a
DC.
pause here. There is a DC in game, so Ramatra's gone. I guess that might be technical difficulties. It happens to us once in a while, but we look at what happens here, and there is going to be the pause. Okay, so they were waiting for the point to flip first. But you look for Sun Valley right now coming up on 2 ultimates, and that's really unfortunate because Ramatra was going to have an ult of their own before they came back. So it's going to lose a lot of potential there for what North Henderson was going to do. But Sun Valley playing that right, like you were saying, either the Sombra's overpower or underpower. You saw Light get 2 kills on that Sombra there, and it's going to build up the ultimate even quicker, I should say. And that EMP, when that comes up, is going to be big, especially for a team like they have there. When you get rid of a D.Va, you can have to use a Suzu if you want to protect that at all. But if the Kiriko gets in there, you have that moment of opportunity to get in and kind of just dive the rest of the team, which Pog can do, especially with D.Va. So now we go back into the game here, and no, this is a different game entirely now, I believe. And we're gonna go back to Panther Creek and Wake leadership, and this is a lot different of a game than I expected here, because on Midtown it's 3-3.
Yeah, we're headed into some extra innings for Panther Creek Wake Young Leadership Academy. Looks like Panther Creek will start us off on the attack here in the extra innings, as they have the lesser time bank. Wake leadership, look at that though. I mean, 2:54 on the clock for completing Midtown. That is enormous.
Yeah, enormous. Total time there would have been about 5 minutes and 16 seconds, or 5 minutes 6 seconds, excuse me, to complete the map. So pretty good time bank. Panther Creek, on the other hand, with 1:33, will do the attacking first. But Wake leadership now, again, I mean, a team that's 1-1, looking to not go 1-2. This is the kind of map you want to have, right? Panther Creek coming up with only 1:33 to work on, and especially for Wake leadership, I think they finally found it where the Orisa and the Bastion spam, the Bastion shred can come in big here. And like I've been saying, in the town of Midtown, if this Doomfist can't really get into your backline, especially with the train, you have to use one of your abilities just to get over. But if you can't find a way in, and with an Orisa stopping you with just one throw of a javelin, you're looking at a very rough map. The fact that they got 3 is good, but the fact that you're 1 minute and 20 seconds down from what the time bank of Wake leadership is, kind of looks like they might be in for maybe one fight, if that, if they do this quickly.
Oh, Panther Creek definitely play fast, so maybe able to get 2. We'll see what happens here. As well, Doomfist has not changed. Delicate, that is the captain of the squad, still sticking here with the most mobile take in the game. And Meldon finding some success with that Sombra as well. 1-2 punch, and ooh, now we're talking about the power of Sombra, still works really good with a Doomfist.
Yeah, still works really well with the Doomfist, and you combo the Sombra with the Doomfist. Normally you see a Sombra counter the Doomfist, but with the Doomfist and the Sombra on the same side, it usually works out in a pretty good combination. If you hack the right person, you're gonna just target focus them down. That's what you like about the Sombra right now. It's just more target focusing. If anything, Doomfist falling also low there, but is able to get out. But now you've got Wake leadership in a very interesting position here with 2 minutes and 54 on their clock, and now 35. You would expect them to try to just build up ultimates at this point because they've got the bigger time bank here, but now it's just Doomfist running right in and already 70% to an ultimate.
Yeah, which just enables Doomfist to be as aggressive as they 19 seconds. This is a difficult choice here for Doomfist to make. Needs to stay alive long enough to touch the cart with the 3 seconds remaining. That meteor strike, that's gonna thin the ranks a bit. That punch gets one too. The wrist rockets take Twisted Space out of the fight. Nice hack, nice bio. Panther Creek come alive at just the right time. Then Animal's thrown onto Doomfist, and they go clear the high ground. Nothing can stand in the wake of this Doomfist.
Yeah, that might have been the deciding fight right there, unless Wake leadership can bring up something big, because now you could have stopped them right in that first turn, giving you a chance with this Doomfist just running rapid. And again, the target focus is what you love here. The Sombra and the Doomfist just working together with the mobility, just chasing down their target.
Each one of these kills is so detrimental. Overtime spawns are so long. Chakotay going in just to try to stall this out, waiting for reinforcements. A lot of initial damage, including a manual hack, but Chakotay still comes away on top! Chakotay finds two amidst the chaos and puts a stop to Panther Creek.
Yeah, that was just the case of pressing Q right at the end there. Kitsune Rush along with the self-destruct to throw out, even though the self-destruct didn't blow up in the meanwhile. But what was nice there is that artillery strike got you 2 kills. That's the big one. Like you were saying, the overtime spawns just aren't very good when you're the attacking team, especially with how deep that payload went. So now you get into a situation here for Wake leadership where you've got 254. Remember, folks, the overtime clock does happen no matter what. As long as you stay on the payload, and there's no additional time once you cap the point. So there's no additional 2.5 minutes that gets added on here. So for Wake leadership, 2 minutes and 54 to go as far as Panther Creek did. They're going to need something to do to stop this Doomfist and Sombra combination, because they know it works, and they knew it happened right away in that very first fight. If Melda Jr. and Doomfist can very well capture what a single target is, can very well focus on their target, which is Sombra and Doomfist can do really well. This is going to be really hard for Wake leadership, especially if they get in the back line on that Kiriko and that Ana, because really the only thing you have to cleanse that is that protection Suzu, nothing else.
That monstrous time making, I mean, it was basically double the amount of time going into extra innings that Wake leadership had. And still, with that great push out of Panther Creek, suddenly it's not really an advantage anymore. That advantage has been completely nullified. And now it's looking like, ooh, can Wake leadership push almost to the back of point B in just under 3 minutes? No easy task, especially against this Panther Creek defense.
No, not a great it's an uphill battle still for Panther Creek, especially with the way that they might have been playing this. We didn't get to see the first half of it, but if the time bank looked like that, that means they get the push in. And now look, they just give up free space underneath. This Kiba can just walk right in. But again, Sombra Doomfist just getting in your backline means it's just free reign and target focus down.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of a bait. It looked like easy street, but suddenly Melton Jr. and Doomfist show up out of nowhere and act they're told. They force you to pay their tax. It's the Doomfist tax that Swag Checks is painfully aware of now.
Yeah, you would love to see a turret out here from Wake leadership, especially if you want to just make sure that the Sombra is kept in check. Maybe if you don't rush to the point, take it slow, take it easy, find a green light, find a pick here, especially if you can get a turret around for the Sombra pick. And that Sombra is just going to be absolutely crazy. Once again, target focusing down, the tank is falling off below.
A good job in the left, just kind of combining here. Able to get Cloud, but Tower keeps their nose out, standing on the cap for entirely too long. Good anti on Chakotay, though, means the Diva no longer has the mech available, and things are going to start looking more difficult here for Wake leadership. Manual hack, down onto the Bastion. Swag Check desperately wants to stay alive. It's Chakotay with the Buddy Blaster, who keeps them so.
Good news for Wake leadership. Now you're coming up on a lot of ultimates. Panther Creek only halfway to a couple, but the big one going to be that EMP. If Melton can bring up that EMP, even if it's 40% away, that'll be big for Panther Creek, especially the way they focus down targets. Doomfist with the meteor strike. We've seen Doomfist be big with these meteor strikes before. And Wake leadership, though, coming up on the artillery, which the artillery has been good so far this map as well, so it could go either way, especially with only one ult on either side. Arctica coming up on a nano, too, could be very well big for Doomfist.
Manual hack, and that virus landed under Cloud, so they had to be hesitant, cannot push in with the rest of the team. Nice punch, that's found 2, if not 3. Doomfist just stands on the point, daring anybody to get near with a later strike ready to go. Speaking of strikes, it's the artillery out of Swag Check. That put Melton Jr. way back, and Arctica in a terrible position, not able to use that nano, and Panther Creek are stumbling.
Yeah, that was a great bio nade first and foremost from Twisted Space. And now they're going to invest the nano boost into Chakotay here, which means that they're thinking that they can try to push up and make some space here. Only problem, no one's there to make space for, so that might have just been a waste at all.
I'm afraid so, and Twisted Space is going to fall once that base. Now Doomfist going in for one last attempt to hold this at bay. 15 seconds, we are in true final fight. The Nano Boost is on to the Doomfist. Takes to the skies, looks to smash it down, but a wonderful Suzu. Still super back kid cannot keep themselves or swag checked alive. The Doomfist is too much. Delicate will propel Panther Creek into a 3-0 record here in the group stage.
Yeah, and that's the Doomfist Nano for you. Doomfist Nano, EMP, everything going for Panther Creek there at the end, and then it's that Nano Boost. I don't know if that was just maybe a fat finger or whatnot, but using that Nano Boost really killed your chances for Wake Leader. You had a good
I think they didn't realize how... Yeah. I don't think they realized how far that Delicate had gotten out. We were hoping that they could pursue the Doomfist and find that kill on the exit, but Delicate was just gone. So they nanoed in an attempt to pursue. There was nothing to be found. There was nobody home.
Yeah, I don't agree with the call there just because you had the Nano Boost available to you. Yeah, I mean, and you were already winning the team fight. You could have saved it for that last fight to save you, especially against the Doomfist. That went really, really well. Go back to another game, I believe we're back to what it was North Henderson Sun Valley.
Yes, as we punch back into King's Row. Looks like Sun Valley were able to at least get 2 ticks on the board and work their way into the Foundry. Now they got to deal with this Blizzard, though, as Pog is just frozen stiff. That's an Orisa sickle on the point. Baptiste is down as well. And Thule now on a Mercy. This Genji specialist is keeping everybody alive with their Valkyrie.
I want to point out, I mean, that's not the only one. Ramatra, the tank, instead now moves on over to the Soldier. Ramatra played Junkrat before, but now is playing a Soldier instead. Cool Chicken was playing the off-healer, was playing the main healer, and now is trying to play the main. This team is basically the equivalent of in baseball, you're trying to play every single position. This is every which way you want to look. Everybody's playing something. And Hammer now in the Kiriko as well, so I mean, everybody switched roles at this point. Sun Valley coming up on 3 ultimates, looking for a 4th. North Henderson will have 2 of their own, but the self-destruct and the tag visor can be really deadly, especially when Sun Valley doesn't really have a defensive ultimate, just a Kitsune Rush plus the Terror Surge, but a tactical visor of their own to work with.
Self-destruct over the top. In the chat, I think was just feeling a little hopeful. Thought maybe that might have been a flanker upstairs there. Fat finger. Sure it was, Big One chat, sure. All right, consider rush out. We're about to get through a serious team fight here on the streets. This one could decide the map. Terror Surge out early and 2 kills immediately on the back of it. You don't have to get all of the slam damage. You just pull people in and let the rest of your team clean up. Ramatra will try to claw this back. Has 2 and a Mercy in the pocket, but no, that won't do.
Yeah, and that's really good discipline from Sun Valley. You only need to invest 2 ultimates there, the Kitsune Rush and the Terror Surge. Now you've got, well, the combination that we've seen this entire time, right? Even without the Kitsune Rush, Application Matrix plus Tactical Visor can be very deadly. North Henderson switching on over the Sigma to see if they can counter that whatsoever, but that shield's going to be gone in a couple of seconds if they're not very careful with this, especially now that shield's going to just crack.
Wall holds pocket place. They have to use their javelin spin to back up. Looks like they had their fortify to get out of there. The Cool Chicken still is able to pick up one. The Baptiste is gone. The Immortality Field not there. What a rock on the light. Knocks them off of the high ground and just put into a terrible spot. Now North Henderson have clean sights into the Foundry as Cool Chicken continues to click heads.
Yeah, that Blizzard was a really good way to kite them off at that point. Not only that, it splits up the team the way that was positioned, so they're going to add another 90 to the bank here. And so you've got a great positioning from that May with that Blizzard, and and really the Baptiste over there didn't get a chance to use the Application Matrix, so now they're only a couple of meters away from winning, but that's a big rock onto Lake to start.
Good wall to hold Pog in. They had to go all the way up to the high ground. So in Light's dead, so there's nobody to follow up with the Wrecking Ball as well. Pog lucky to get out of that one alive. Amplification Matrix here from the Sun Valley's defense. They look to fend off with attack visor through it, but there's no targets to be found. Suzy used their belief from Hammer. And now it's somebody flicking into the inside kick. What that is? Oh, it was the Pog. It was the Wrecking Ball, of course. Bigland Chat's got it under control, had him on lockdown. The Wrecking Ball could move out of that room to the point that I wasn't even sure that what hero was in there. I don't expect to see a Wrecking Ball locked down in a corner, Clutch.
No, not at all, not at all. And they're probably going to... And it looks like they can win this out. 3 people on point, and yep, it's going to be North Henderson. No, not yet, just quite yet. Pog's going to stay on the point.
I don't know if they're going to be able to get a solid fight off of this, and they're running into so many ultimates, including this Blizzard. Hog is able to get healed, though, somehow. Tanuki is able to get that one through, but now the Levitic Flux will slam them down, and into the Junkyard they go directly. Shield up. Nobody can get close. That'll do it. North Henderson will take Kings Row and close it out 2-0 here. Moving on to 3-0 in the group stage, and, well, really proving themselves against the other undefeated team.
Yeah, putting themselves in a really good position in the group stages here to get that first round bye, especially against another 2-0 team in Sun Valley. So well done by North Henderson. So you've got that differential. You got the basically tiebreaker. And again, what is our play of the game? A Kitsune Rush plus a Soldier. I mean, it's pretty much the combination that we've seen all game long in that series. But really for both teams, I mean, both games that we did watch, you saw Soldier involved, you saw Kiriko involved as well. Kitsune Rush, when that gets popped out, as well as an Application Matrix that gets popped out as well, you're probably going to win a fight. Overall, though, I mean, I know that's probably the end of what we see so far. And what I saw is a lot of great gameplay, a lot of different looks from a lot of different teams. But if you're looking at one team to come away from this, North Henderson, a lot of flexibility. The equivalent of, again, like I said, baseball playing every single position possible. That's the ultimate thing you want to do here. Have that flexibility, have that depth. Anybody can play anywhere, and so far so good for North Henderson. 3-0, but I think they're probably looking at being one of the top teams here in the VESL.
Definitely look tough to beat. North Henderson, absolutely outstanding squad there, North Henderson. I mean, Panther Creek looked really good as well with their Doomfist squad. I mean, that's going to be a fun one to watch as we move forward. We'll expect to see them in the elimination phase once we get into the single elimination bracket. But you know what? We're not quite done with groups. I mean, we are done here for the day. Like, it's like, whew, man, it's been an awesome day. Like, what a debut into Overwatch for VESL. It has been absolutely awesome. And we're going to continue with more group stages happening tomorrow. That will continue all through tomorrow. And then the rest of the week, we're into that single elim and things get into the nitty gritty.
Yeah, it's going to be great, especially now that they're in group stages. This is only the first day of competition. Now these teams going into day number 2 are going to know what to expect. They know what their opponents are going to look like. Some of them, if they were watching the stream and they're in that same group, now you know what to expect. Now you know what they're going to throw out at you. And the second day as well, I'm sure these coaches are going to be out there looking at these games thinking, all right, if you're the team that's down, what can we adjust? What can we do to make sure that we're in that bracket come Wednesday, Thursday to play on and have a chance at that regional play, regional land later on? What can we do? For the teams that are up there, keep the momentum going. Coaches are going to be like, you're doing great. Just keep doing what you're doing. Obviously, the one thing, play your game. That's what they've been doing so far, and that's what it's been working for the teams that are 3-0, especially like for a team like North Henderson as well as Panther Creek. They know what they're doing. They know what their play of game is. I'm excited for day number 2 just to see what adjustments can be made to see if any teams are going to break out of this group stage into the brackets on Wednesday.
Yeah, and that will be coming at you tomorrow at 6 Eastern. We will be right back here to keep the group stage going. But it does it for us tonight. Thank y'all so much for hanging out. It's been an absolute blast. Big shout out to Reed, our producer for the night, keeping everything running smooth up front. But have a wonderful night. Can't wait for tomorrow. We'll see you there.